that was one of the things that was super appealing. And I mean, that's pretty much all we do. Is I haven't played a AAA game in a long time. Like, I just found that indie games and indie developers, like, the love that they pour into these small games with their small team is so evident. And it's like, that's why we play, or that's why I play indie games all the time, is there's so much care into the games and feels really nice. But it's like, again, it's like no platform is the same. So even the same clip that did really well on TikTok, like if I post that on Instagram, there's no guarantee that it's going to do good on Instagram. Like, it could barely, it maybe gets 600 views. It's so,
but vice
it's just
versa
so
too.
different. Exactly. Yeah. And within there is like, how much entertainment value can I provide for somebody who's just, because like everybody knows TikTok is, you're just scrolling, Instagram Reels, you're just scrolling. So it's like, once, if I can deliver in those few seconds, then what I've repurposed my stream in to YouTube is like, I'm hoping they see that video and they're like, oh, I want to, like, is this what happens all the time? Like, I would love to go and see like what a long form version of Jozzoh looks like or whatever it is.
Hello, I'm Dustin Polyinnovator. Today I'm talking with Jozzoh, a streamer, variety streamer, mind you, who enjoys a wide variety of games, and I love that, actually. I've always taken a general approach to gaming, so I love that. And then you're fueled by laughs a bit too. This is a show where we talk about modern content creation and just talk to creators on their journey. Thank you for joining me, Josh.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm super excited.
This is going to be really fun, and really, it's kind of interesting to talk about live. So we've talked about like video and then audio and written content, but there's also like short, long, and live content. And a lot of people watching this channel haven't probably experienced enough live streamers and get their experience on here. So I'm really curious to see how you got started. So really, that's kind of the first question here. What got you started as a content creator?
For sure. I mean, I think like everybody who's doing some sort of content creation, it's a long journey, even if it feels like it's been a short chunk of time. Like, for example, from the point I started streaming seriously until now has been like a really short amount of time. But like, if you go back, it's like, I've always been like a super creative guy. Whether it was drawing, making videos with my friends, with like when we were like kids with just like old cameras. And I remember sitting in front of like my buddy's TV. It was like one of those fat back TVs. And we sat in front of it with a camera while we were playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City and like filming ourselves doing stuff from like an old camera, like
a flip cam kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like going way back. Yeah. So I mean, what really got me into streaming was when the COVID pandemic hit. Like everybody, I feel like most people who were playing video games or were working remote jobs or whatever it was, they kind of went down this avenue of, let's try it out. Like, let's see what happens. And so I was doing it pretty casually, way different than what I'm doing now. Like, I was focusing on Warzone. Warzone had just come out, so it was a lot of Call of Duty. I was dipping my toes into competitive Fall Guys. Like, it was like way different than what I do now. But yeah, from that, man, I mean, it just kind of, that fizzled out. Life took over. So I stopped streaming. That was only probably a 6-month span. And then, yeah, I mean, my buddies would say the reason I started posting on TikTok was because my friends wanted me to stop sending them clips. So they were like, hey, you should post. Yeah, post them on, like, we'll see them. And then we don't have to get our text messages blown up every day. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because I was always, whatever it was, I was just clipping it. And I was like, this is funny. Like, I want to share this with my buddies. And then, yeah, so I was casually doing that and started streaming on TikTok a little bit, which was new to me.
Yeah.
And the thing I found with TikTok is the engagement in regards to Twitch. Like, Twitch is a very oversaturated market. I mean, as everybody knows now, just I would say probably because of the pandemic and how it brought everybody in. So TikTok was really, it made me like really excited because it would be at the end of your stream, it'd be like, oh, you had 300 people stop by your stream, like unique viewers. And it's like, that's crazy, because on Twitch, it's like, there are people who've streamed on Twitch since the pandemic or 2 years, and they still only have like 2 or 3 viewers, I feel like that's the market on Twitch, and that it's a hard market to get into,
especially for variety streamers, it seems like too.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think a lot of people focus on one game, which is fine. Like, every streamer, it's a niche market, but within that market, I feel like there's way more niches that are like inside there. But yeah, up until this point, I just started posting on TikTok, and then I had a couple videos go viral in January. And then it was really that moment where I was like, I just said to my wife, I'm like, I can't let it go. I'm like, I gotta jump on it now. So then it was like that moment was kind of when I started like really seriously like streaming regularly, posting content regularly, because I've seen people who I like, who I know or who I've seen go through it, where they have a video go they have a video go viral, and then they don't really do anything with it, and then it just fizzles out and nothing
Yeah.
retains. So I was like, I've seen that experience, and I was like, I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna try, and you know what? I'm extremely grateful. We've been able to hold on to it for the last 6 or 7 months. So we're just all I'm doing is grinding right now, man. But yeah.
You're still on that growth curve.
Oh, big time. Big time.
There are so many ways I can like take that conversation forward. And one thing I just wanted to mention too is that I think a lot of gaming content creators, let alone streamers, they go wide, they find something they like, they kind of narrow down, then they go wide again. I call this the hourglass analogy when it comes to my other content that I make.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's really useful for people to know. Like, it's okay to do both. It's okay to go wide, it's okay to go narrow. It just depends on the timing of what you're feeling like.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just play. That's what I'm saying is like every day still is like learning every
Mhm.
single day. Like we were just talking before stream with technology. I'm like, every time I go to get on ready for stream, I'm like, if I don't get on like 20 minutes early, something is going to mess up. Like my camera's going to be off or my lighting's going to be off. And it's like, so it's every day is learning with every piece of content, every stream. Like it's crazy.
And we were talking before we called, like you said, about the technology, and I had an issue with my computer where you have two USB-C ports, and they're USB 4, should be plenty of bandwidth. I plug in one camera. I wanted to have a secondary camera for vertical canvas, so I have the Logitech StreamCam here that you can rotate, and it will automatically adjust in OBS the orientation, which is great. Like the
Yeah.
ratio is good. But then as soon as you plug in both at the same time, for some reason the computer freaks out about it. And maybe it's just the computer itself. But again, like you said, you never know what's going to happen when you open up OBS or Meld or whatever tools you're using.
Yeah.
And I think I realized we're about the same age because you said Vice City, and that's our
Yeah.
generation's game.
Yeah,
And I remember
you're right.
playing like going through, speeding up the ramp, listening to Black Eyed Peas Pump It in the background.
It's a classic, an
Yeah, just
absolute
blasting.
classic.
And so obviously you make a lot more of the video based content, live and VOD kind of thing. So out of the three pillar content, that's what you seem to favor. What inspired you to start creating like the live streams over just maybe like actual YouTube videos per se or something like that?
Yeah, I think it came down to I was watching. I found this guy on Twitch a couple years ago, and his name is Mr. Gibbon, and he's like, he's still like, I mean, he's still one of the guys as a streamer and a content creator that I just have always watched and just admired. Like his way of that, he just there's never dead air like in the live stream. Like even if the game is moving, it's like the whole idea of like he's in complete control, and also the environment is in control. Like it's like with live streaming, that's kind of the scary part is like if something fails in your live, it's like really it doesn't feel good. Like
Yeah.
when something fails and like all these people are in here and you're like, man, I'm so sorry, I don't know what's happening, we got to figure it out. But yeah, so just watching him and the way that he creates, and we kind of like I kind of follow down the same path as him in a sense of where the gaming that he does is very like role play based, kind of immersive, like immersion into whatever he's playing, which was super inspiring. And I think that's kind of where I went as well, because I have a pretty big Grand Theft Auto role play background. So I discovered that that's really helped kind of find my niche and like what
Mm.
I'm delivering is no matter what game we're playing, like I just try to like immerse myself as much into it as possible. And it's a lot like with role play and GTA role play, for example, there's a lot of acting and scenes and different things like that. So it's with me and the like the variety content that I do. That's kind of what I try to go for. Is I was telling somebody recently, I'm like, they were like, well, what kind of clips do you make? Like, what is it? And I just described it as like punchline clips. Like that's what I try to go for. Is like whatever's happening on stream. Like if something really funny happened, if there was a good reaction, that's kind of where my clips kind of the direction they go in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, just getting into streaming and choosing streaming over video games is probably just the inspiration and seeing how like improv and really just like lets your creativeness flow. And it puts a little pressure on too, I think, live streaming. Like it
Yeah.
puts a little added pressure to be like, if I don't deliver tonight, it's like it won't be the great like. And where I always like I have off nights. Everybody has off nights, but I think the ability to you have to deliver because it's a live stream. So it's like you kind of put the pressure on you, and it feels good. It helps drive kind of what I'm after. But yeah, I would say that is probably the reason why I went after live streaming.
It's interesting when you mention like what kind of clips you prefer, because I think everybody does approach it a little bit differently, and I think that you actually have one of the better options too, where you're focusing more on the punchline, getting that entertainment value out of it. For me, when it came to like saving clips, it was always a matter of like a unique moment. So like I was playing Mass Effect Andromeda, one of the last missions, I have all these different weapons, and the enemy dropped this gun. I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. Picked it up, randomly realized it was a minigun, and I wish I could have seen my face. I wish I had live streaming it, because I just was ecstatic. Just picking up a minigun like that and just having a blast shooting it kind of thing. And those are the kind of moments I like particularly loved to clip. But it's just interesting to think about as a content creator too, taking your live streams, making them to YouTube videos, making them to short form videos for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and shorts and stuff like that. It's always a strategy, but it's also a matter of preference too.
For sure. Like, and yeah, I think every creator, and that's when we go back to niches. Like, I feel like what I'm kind of after right now is also a niche of like the style of clipping that I'm doing. Like a guy that I really like, who I think we're kind of in the same category of how we clip and things, is like King Wolves. Like he does a lot of variety content, and he's phenomenal at what he does. Like it's so magical to watch. So that's like why it's just like, again, that punchline clipping is just like, yeah, man, I don't know. It's just, that's what we go for. I think what I think about every time is just how can I deliver the most entertainment in 20 to 45 seconds of like, I've found that that's kind of like what TikTok likes to see for my kind of content is like 25 to 45 seconds. And within there is like, how much entertainment value can I provide for somebody who's just, because like everybody knows TikTok is, you're just scrolling, Instagram Reels, you're just scrolling. So it's like, if I can deliver in those few seconds, then what I've repurposed my stream in to YouTube is like, I'm hoping they see that video and they're like, oh, I want to, like, is this what happens all the time? Like, I would love to go and see like what a long form version of Jozzo looks like or whatever it is. And so that's kind of, I think the idea behind it is like, let's bring them in and transfer them to the stream and see what happens over there.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of what I saw from a lot of your content. You showed up a lot on my feed, especially since I kept trying to give you that engagement. I was like, oh, let's get him some likes and comments or whatever. Yeah. But and so you kept kind of coming up more and more, and I kept seeing more of the different kinds of like that spear game that you were playing, the one that where you're like, you know, the pitchforks or the spears or the halberd. And the way that you interacted with the characters and the way you were talking and acted it out, it made things more interesting. Like you said, that immersion of character. And as a clipping person myself, I mean, this show, for example, I make because I want to know your journey, but we also get kind of in the meta of it. Like I'll talk to you about why I'm asking you this question or something like that, or here's what we're thinking in the content standpoint. But then we also go back into it and talk about your journey. And it's kind of a weird meta kind of interview. And then I'll take clips from that and post it on there. And so it's really just fun to kind of get into the weeds about that kind of stuff.
No, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate the love on the content too. That half sword game that was kind of like the fuel to my journey. For most, I would say most of it, still there. I've had like half sword. Also shout out half sword, because the devs of half sword, they treat me so well. They're so kind. They're always messing, like it's super cool. But they need to release the game. That's what they need to do. It's still in
get
demo.
It out. Come on, guys.
I know. But so it was between like that and Schedule 1, and then the occasional horror game that I play. Like it's really, that's why I love variety, because it's like you never know. Like it's like a half sword video, for example. I have one on my channel that has 13.7 million views, which is like it every day. Like I'm still like, how is that even possible? Like that's a lot of people. And then I'll post a half sword video like a week later, and it's like, oh, I got 5,000 views. It's like, what? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and I thought this one was a really good one. So it's like all of how people perceive I just try to put out what I think is really funny and that
Yeah.
I think that other people also would. I kind of try to generalize it of majority of people who play video games would probably at least smile at this video. But yeah.
Well, at this stage, you're kind of still in that experimental stage, anyways, and there's still a lot of people who talk about like being really analytical about like, okay, if this clip did really well, let's break it down as to why. But you have so much to value otherwise too. Like it might just be that one clip went viral, and the reason why might just be because it got lucky, it got pushed through the algorithm, or you did something a certain way and you want to replicate that. You already seem to be doing a certain strategy to each of your clips, anyways. So the analytics aspect isn't really that important right now. It's a matter of output. So I was going to ask, are you cross-posting the YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels too?
Yeah, so everything, every short clip that I make also gets posted to Instagram and YouTube.
Okay.
The thing I've found from that is every platform, the algorithm is so different.
Yeah.
It's so different. Like I've just recently really started getting headway on Instagram. But before, like Instagram, YouTube is very hard. I found YouTube is very hard. But Instagram was difficult. And then all of a sudden now I'm averaging like 150 followers a day for the last like week and a half, which feels really nice. But it's like, again, it's like no platform is the same. So even the same clip that did really well on TikTok, like if I post that on Instagram, there's no guarantee that it's going to do good on Instagram. Like it could it maybe gets 600 views. It's so,
but vice
it's just
versa
so
too.
different. Exactly. Yeah. So
well, a couple things I might add is that I start posting to Pinterest as well back in the day, and that seemed to be doing pretty well for me. I actually got more views on Pinterest than all the other three combined for a while.
Wow.
And so it might be worth, just adding a cross poster to that.
Yeah.
And then
that's so interesting. Pinterest.
Yeah. Well, and Instagram, cool. If I post the main, it's kind of different depending on like if I'm doing my personal profile versus the gaming profile. But when I post the main feed and the shorts feed, it kind of suppresses a lot of my thing. And I actually lost followers a lot because it kind of was too much. I was pumping out too much content. But when I turned off the main feed and only posted to the Reels feed, I ended up getting a lot more engagement and it seemed to do better. So it might
that's cool.
be worth experimenting there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I just post straight to the main feed. That's what I've been doing.
And it'll do both if you do the main feed, but sometimes it overwhelms people. But speaking of posting and creating, what tools do you use for content creation and live streaming actually too?
Yeah.
Really anything.
So when it comes to live streaming, TikTok is very difficult.
Yeah.
So I think everybody knows this, that TikTok likes to gatekeep a little bit when it comes to live streaming. So my live streaming tools are I run OBS and I run through OBS for Twitch, and as well I have a vertical plugin that goes into OBS. But TikTok does not hand out stream keys I don't think
really anymore at this point.
Yeah, it's very rare, and I think it's strategic for them because they want everybody to be using their platforms, right?
Yeah.
So I run through OBS, and then I run a virtual camera through OBS that takes my vertical output, and I run that through TikTok Studio app. So essentially, my PC is working hard because it's live streaming through two different platforms at the same time.
Do you have a separate streaming PC or just use it all in one?
I don't yet. Yeah, we're just doing it all in one right now. So that's definitely a long-term goal. But
well, I'm asking because this is something like, again, I'm trying to learn from myself. I'm a big tools guy, but you have the experience for it. And I know that Streamlabs can post to TikTok directly. They had some sort of partnership with them. The Streamlabs requires you to have either their membership or you have to limit how many platforms you're using. And then what plugin were you using, ADAM or Stream Elements?
It's ADAM for OBS. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering.
Yeah. So
please.
I did try Streamlabs recently because TikTok, for some reason, TikTok was like, it was going really bad. Like all of a sudden my TikTok streams were like really laggy. Like nothing was happening. Like it was bad. So I thought, okay, let's change. I'm going to change the Streamlabs because I knew they have it directly in their platform, but it was kind of the same thing. Like Streamlabs isn't cheap. So there's that. And then I was running it through Streamlabs straight to Twitch and TikTok, but both were experiencing like pretty bad performance issues. So I ended up just kind of canning it. It's no shade to Streamlabs. I mean, you guys have fantastic tools, and maybe it works better with not an all-in-one PC, like how I'm doing everything on one computer. But But then, yeah, it was super strange. And then I went back and to my original way that I've been doing it for 6 months, and it's been fine. So
Well, and this is why I struggled so much at doing the multi-streaming, because if I stream, I want to be multi-streaming. I know that that's like really key. And one thing I saw a lot of people do is these Pokemon YouTubers were doing YouTube Shorts live streaming and horizontal YouTube streaming at the same time. And then they
okay,
were also multi-streaming to TikTok, usually maybe Instagram, depending on how big they were, and on Twitch. So they had 2 horizontal streams and at least 2 vertical streams at the same time.
okay,
And Streamlabs is one of the only tools that you can do that if you just send to it, it'll split it for you. So you just
yeah,
send one vertical and then send to Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and then one horizontal and split it. But you have to pay for it, obviously, like you said. And like very valuable that you share this, you had a hard time with it. It didn't work for you. And every time I've used Streamlabs, the interface is just not that good. I can't. That's my personal preference there, but
yeah,
that gets me going. But then the other ones like Stream Elements and Atom, you don't have that syndication service, and so you have to have your computer and a really good internet like fiber in order to multi-stream as much. So what are your thoughts on that, Josh?
yeah. I mean, again, I think it just comes down. It's such a hard question to say like what the answer is, because like everybody's computer is different. Some people are using a streaming PC while they game on a different PC. Some people have different internet. Some people, I would just say trial and error. That's kind of what I continue to do every day, is like what works, what didn't work. And that was just I know a lot of people who use Streamlabs and they're like, I'm never going back to OBS. It's like, okay, it's like that, but that's what works for me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so I just continue to kind of use what's been keeping me smooth, because like we were talking about, live streaming it's a little stressful, because it's like
Yeah.
if something goes on, if one app is failing while you're trying to live stream, if your PC is failing, it's like, it's a hard thing to think about. So it's like, if I'm running smoothly, let's keep it that way. And then if something happens, then we can try something else.
And you have to forgive my indulgence here because this is just something I've been nerding out about, and I think it's been causing me analysis paralysis. So I'm just sharing that with the world and sharing it with you because I think it's helpful for other people to see that as well. There's another tool you might try out at some point called Meld Studio. That's been pretty cool. I'm sure, yeah, you're familiar.
I've heard a lot about. I've threatened on stream a lot of times to OBS. I'm like, I'm gonna be switching to Meld because OBS sometimes has just been getting me. But
oof. Well, how many plugins do you have on there too? By the way, that makes a difference. I feel
just
like.
just the one, just Atom. That's the only
So,
one.
what are you doing about the chat then? I guess are you just having a TikTok stream open up or?
Yeah, so on the TikTok Studio app, they have everything can pop out. So like TikTok gifts, as well as the chat, it all pops out into its own windows. So my second monitor is like packed, like side to side, like Twitch chat, TikTok chat, and then both alert systems. And then I have half the screen is like the Twitch stream manager. So that's basically just how I run. The TikTok Studio app is great. It does work really well, and they work good. You can see your viewers, the followers you've gotten on stream, like all these different things in the little windows. So it works really good. But yeah, it's just a lot of windows is what you have to do. But
well, and this made me kind of nerdy too. But the hardware is like I was wondering how many screens you had and stuff like that. I see the Yeti X mic and the SteelSeries headphones. What else are you working with there? Tech-wise?
I've got my Elgato Stream Deck. It's a Stream Deck Mini. It's kind of all I need. Like I still barely use most of the keys. I have a key set for highlighting the VOD, so I know what to go back to, and clip and whatever. And I've got like what else is on here? Changing the category and title on my Twitch stream, but it's pretty easy. I did recently just switch to all SteelSeries gear though, so I just switched. Yeah, I was Logitech forever, and then I just decided.
Sorry, you calling me out here. It's like Logitech all over you.
No shit. Logitech's fantastic. I've always worked with Logitech, so I was like, I'm just gonna try something else. And I heard really good things about SteelSeries, and I've been really happy. Like the SteelSeries gear has been really, really awesome. So,
well, and in my experience, the Logitech headphones are, unless you get the top of the line, are just garbage. And because I've bought some and they just weren't. The sound quality was not there. The connection issues weren't there, or were there. I mean, and then like I got wireless SteelSeries headphones before, and they were great. They sounded phenomenal. They were very lightweight, and so I get you on that. So what else are you like? I just love nerding out. Like, what else do you have? Like keyboard, mouse wise, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, it's you know what? I think it's the TKL9 for the SteelSeries keyboard, and the mouse is the Aerox 5. So
Yeah.
they're not the highest end, but they're not the lowest end of SteelSeries gear. The camera I'm running with is just a Logitech. Oh, it's Logitech. There you go.
Is it stream cam
Logitech.
or a Brio?
It's just the C920
Okay.
Pro. So that's one thing that is like the next upgrade for the stream is I've been looking at like some like Sony DSLR cameras, like really stepping it up, because it works great. And if you fumble around with it enough, you can get it looking
It looks
quite
better than
good
I
with
expected. I
lighting.
thought it was like a nicer camera than that.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, and it's like, so that's part of my issue with OBS is with this camera specifically. It resets the settings every single time OBS closes.
Yeah.
Apparently it's only this model of webcam from
My
Logitech
Razer
that
one
it
did
does it
too.
for. Oh, did it? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
good
think it's
to
pretty
know.
common. I think a lot of the webcams, unless you get the stream cam, might have the firmware or like the memory on board, and the
Yeah,
Elgato ones do. I would also look into the Elgato Facecam Pro because that's what I got for my main one. It's not working with the
nice.
Linux distro, but it's
Yeah,
really nice, and I think that it would be a good stepping stone before you get to the DSLR mirrorless stuff.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's so much stuff to choose from.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Especially I'm so new to the PC world and everything. Like somebody asks me what my PC or what I
Mhm.
have inside my PC, and I just go to
You're
my
like,
Twitch channel
you're
and
like,
look
I
at
don't
my
know.
panel that has it written down, because I can't. I'm always been a console gamer, always,
Oh,
until
well, what console then?
I was always Xbox. Well, that's not true.
Math in
Nintendo
my own heart here.
64.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo 64 was the first one. But yeah, I did actually, you know what? I did switch Xbox 360 to PlayStation 4, and then I went
Mm.
back to Xbox, and I've been Xbox ever since. So, but yeah, this was like when I really started wanting to create content and just seeing what wider varieties of games that PC had through Steam and different whatever you're getting your games from is like monstrous compared
Yeah.
to what you can get through the Xbox store. So that was one of the things that was super appealing. And I mean, that's pretty much all we do. Is I haven't played a AAA game in a long time. Like I just found that indie games and indie developers, like the love that they pour into these small games with their small team is so evident. And it's like, that's why that's why I play indie games all the time. There's so much care into the games, and there's also little quirks that are super funny with horror games from small teams and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But
No, I'm sure there are some viewer out there who would also nerd it out with me when you're talking tech. And I see that you got a Core i5. That might be why sometimes you struggle with the streaming part because it's not enough bandwidth. But it's a
yeah.
14600K. That's not bad. Oh, I had to look at your Twitch real
Oh,
quick. I
did
was
you
like,
just bring up that dude? I'm like, I think that's what it is. I was like,
yeah.
I'm just, yeah,
It's a pretty decent CPU. I think that like having more cores or maybe a little bit more threads would help a little bit with the multi-streaming aspect. But the fact that you're doing
for
two
sure.
streams is good enough. And you have good entertaining streams and you're repurposing, so you're doing all that good stuff. But I love talking tools, and that's one reason why I made this channel. So I'm glad you
Yeah,
indulged in that.
no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and that's just the streaming stuff,
Yeah.
but it's good.
What inspired the Jozzo name?
What inspired the name? It kind of came from like I grew up playing rugby, and I grew up in all these different team environments where nicknames were very common. And so a lot of them was like my main one all throughout years was like Jozzoh or whatever it was. So I just decided to, when I started up, I was like, you know what? I just kind of like the ring of it. I was like, it's my nickname with like a little bit of spice thrown in there.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's where Jozzo came from. It just came from a nickname that I kind of had all the time, and threw my own little twist into it, and
Yeah.
it's kind of stuck. So
I like that, and it kind of reminds me of like how I got my old username too. And I think that stories behind usernames are always really interesting, especially when it comes to creators. So I wanted to make sure I asked that. And speaking of stories, can you share your favorite story that's happened to you as a content creator?
man, favorite story that's happened. You know, this is hey, I'll give you I'll give you one, but
Okay,
in general, I would say, dude, I am just having the best time.
that's good.
Like I would say that every single thing that happens so far in the last 7 months of doing this has just been Unbelievable. Like after the podcast today, I've got my 50,000 follower celebration stream, which is crazy. Yeah, and thank you. It's like it's super exciting. So it's just like every little thing, like having somebody come into the chat and they're like, "Hey man, I really loved your content. I came from Instagram," and he's in the Twitch channel, like whatever it is. Those little comments are like they just like absolutely make everything worth it,
Mm,
right? Like all the time that, like as you know, being a content creator, it's time consuming, especially when it's not your full-time job. Like
yeah.
it's so it can be. And but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. But
No, it's good, and it makes me think too, just how much like you would enjoy like conferences. I mean, you're not super into YouTube just yet, so VidSummit might be a little bit like beyond what you want, but you could learn so much from there. Or even something like VidCon would be something fun. And then there's other ones for podcasting, like Podcast Movement. There's also TwitchCon, which will probably be perfect for you. But all these different conferences where you get to meet other creators and meet
oh,
fans
exactly.
too. That would be really cool.
Yeah, exactly. So that's actually one thing that I'm doing is at the end of August. PAX West hit me up a couple nights ago. I applied for a creator badge
Mm,
and they awarded me a creator badge. So they've invited me down for the full 4 days. I won't be able to stay for the 4 days, but yeah. So me and a couple of the guys that we stream and make content together a lot. We're going to drive down to Seattle
nice.
and go to PAX at the end of August, and so that's the first one that I'll be doing. And I've got a live streaming setup, a rig for IRL streams. We're gonna make some
Ooh.
content.
So, okay, first off, I forgot you were in the up north,
Yeah, yeah,
Canadian.
yeah,
And
yeah,
but secondly, I actually made a video about making a portable live streaming setup, and it's really interesting that there's many PCs and ways you can do cameras. So, what is your setup like? Because that's
for
really
sure.
interesting.
Yeah, so the one that I've kind of planned that we've got it's really simple. I just got some like pretty heavy duty high end gear from Ulanzi. I think that's how you say it. So basically, I just have like a pretty heavy duty selfie stick with a phone mount. It's gonna have a ring light attached to it. I've got a couple wireless mics and some pretty heavy battery packs.
Something like this
But
in a
we're
way,
yeah, yeah,
kind of.
exactly. Yeah. So it's pretty much it's really simple. And it'll just be TikTok exclusive
Hmm.
for the IRL streams that I'm gonna do. But yeah, it's just gonna be we're gonna be super fun going down there and just filming, maybe making a little vlog, something like that. So
I love it.
yeah,
There's also like tools like Opus Clip you could toss it into too. If you take that like TikTok stream and then toss it in there to find clips for you or something like that, might be interesting. And
yeah, for sure.
so speaking of repurposing though, like the long form to short form, what does content repurposing mean to you particularly? Since you're still kind of you're doing great at it, you're already doing a lot of it, but there's still probably more you could learn or tools you could find. What do you feel like?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to repurposing is it comes down to like right now, it comes down to making the best quality content that I can use on all platforms that also takes it doesn't take a lot of my time up that's outside of creating the content itself and streaming just because I'm a dad, I got a full-time job and I'm kind of like that's what I always say is like I've been streaming and creating content like a full-time content creator, but I also have all these other things. So it's like when it comes to repurposing is I basically have just been taking my Twitch streams and I'll take them and I'll cut out all of the unnecessary talking, like where I'm just talking to stream and doing all those things and condense them down and post those on YouTube. And they've been doing quite well. We got a lot of catch up to do because we've been doing this TikTok event that's been going crazy. So I haven't had any time to get onto the YouTube stuff right now, but so it's been about 8 days since our last long form video. But
Mm,
yeah, as far as that is the repurposing, I kind of keep it simple by the short form videos that I've been doing. I can repurpose them right away. I don't need
mm,
to like alter the sizing. I don't need to really alter anything because I've been doing the captions. So I use CapCut to edit everything, and that's been really good for me. It's yeah, I use it for the YouTube videos, for TikTok,
interesting.
everything. It's been flawless. I've had no issues with it. I do my thumbnails in there for
Mm.
TikTok videos and stuff.
Those thumbnails look
Except
pretty good. I was looking through and I saw you had like the name of the clip or whatever on there, like in you, and then
yeah,
the picture behind it. So I was wondering about that.
yeah. So I mean, I started doing the caption like kind of like a I don't even know what it's like a shortened title of what the video is, or like key points, so people can find it. Because I've been on people's channels before where I'm like, oh, I wanted to show somebody this video, and they're all just like just pictures of the game, which is fine. Like it doesn't, there's nothing against it, but that's just kind of the angle that I went on. Is I'm like, I want it to be easier for somebody to find the video that they think they were talking about. If that makes any sense.
No, it does, because I mentioned Opus Clip earlier. I've worked with them for a long time. When they first launched, they would find all these podcast clips, and they came up with like a little title card at the beginning of what the clip was about automatically.
Yeah.
And so the first 2 or 3 seconds would have the title card. And so YouTube would never use it because YouTube used the random screenshot. But TikTok and Instagram would use the first few seconds as the thumbnail of it. And so every clip had a title essentially that people could read and know what it's about. And for some reason, they got rid of that feature, and I guess they sort of brought it back, but I haven't been able to figure it out. But I've been missing that all these years, because all these clips, you scroll through my profile, they look all the same. You're like, what is going on in these clips? So it's like, yes, I totally get that. Please,
for titles. Sure. Yeah, it's stressful choosing titles sometimes, because it's like, have I made this one already? It's like trying to figure it out. But yeah, CapCut's like, I've got nothing. CapCut is like, it's been life-saving for me. Like, it's super simple to use. I've got CapCut Pro. It makes it really easy to just edit on the go. Like, I can do it on my phone. I do the YouTube videos from the desktop app, but all the short form videos, I edit from my phone through the CapCut.
I gotta ask, how do you feel about their change in terms of service? I heard something about that recently where they were like, anything you put in there, they can use copyright free and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's, you know what? It's interesting. But I think the thought process that I have right now with the content that I'm putting out is I'm already putting it on the internet. So if they want to use it, they can go ahead, kind of thing. Like, I've stumbled across a lot where it's like somebody's reposted my video or somebody's done this and they don't tag me. And it's like, it's kind of like, like I would love a little bit of recognition if you're using it, but that's kind of, but that's just kind of the mindset that I've had with CapCut's changes. I'm already putting it out there. It's not a big deal to me as right now, at least, but we'll see what happens down the road.
It's good to know, though, and it's good to have that opinion there. And I got a random question for you. What is the story with the Rocket Man? I saw the stickers on the merch and stuff like that. I've seen it somewhere on your profiles. So what's with the Rocket Man?
Yeah, the story with the Rocket Man is I am like a huge space nerd. Like, I love space. Like, I don't know, everything to do with my branding and my stream is all space themed. Like, the backdrop of the overlay on TikTok, like in between our game and my camera, it's like a moving galaxy. Like, it's all that stuff. So it's all like space colors, everything that we've used. And the Rocket Man, I think we just adapted him with the community was asking for merch, and I was just sitting down and I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm like, I'm barely learning. Like, that's how fast everything's been happening, is like, started posting videos and then they go viral. And then I'm like, oh geez, now I'm streaming like regularly. And now people are asking for merch. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I sat down and I was thinking about it. And I'm like, as cliche as it sounds, but it's like the rate that my growth has kind of picked up and that it's been continuing to go is like, kind of like that old, everybody says, like, to the moon. That's like kind of like what we were thinking. So I'm like, I'm just hopping on this and you guys are the rocket and I'm just riding it. It's like, so that's kind of what we've been after, and it's worked out. I really love the way it was designed, and
I'm glad to see that rise from you there. I'm glad to be here, like, interviewing you too so early on, because like obviously you've made a lot of progress with millions of views, and also just like getting that 50,000 right there, like you said earlier. But like, just imagine where you're going to be in a year from now too. And if anybody's interested, that hat he's wearing right there is in the fourth wall link down below in the description.
That's right. Thank you very much. No, I'm excited too, man. Like, it's that's what I keep saying is I'm like, we're here after 7 months. It's like, who knows what a year looks like from now? We just got to keep going.
Yeah. But, well, I only got one more question for you here, unless we go on another tangent, which is more than likely going to happen too anyways. But what do you have coming down the line that you're looking most forward to?
Yeah, I'm coming down the line is, I would say PAX is probably the next thing that I'm really excited for. So other than that, it's just keep on doing what we've been doing. I'm just going to keep grinding.
Do you have another game in mind, maybe, or something like that?
Dude, games change every day. It's crazy. Yeah, like, so that's the beauty of kind of what I love about the content that I've chosen to do, and what I've found that really works for me is these variety games. It's like, a lot of them, I'm able to shorten the entire gameplay into like one 50-minute YouTube video. So then it's like, that's the episode. We put that on YouTube. So that's kind of what we love. I've found a bunch of games that we've continuously played. One of which is Peak. I don't know if you've seen Peak. It's a new viral co-op game, and basically you climb a mountain with your friends and help them out, and people fall, and it's hilarious. It's super funny. But yeah, for games speaking, there's a few coming out. There's a few good horror games that I've been waiting for. Storebound is one of them. Half Sword I'm waiting for.
Yeah, come on.
Storebound is, I know. Half Sword is good. Dude, we just need to release the game. That's what needs to happen. It's been so long. Well, not so long, but since like probably last fall, I think they released the first playtest. And so they're in the next demo stage now. So we're hoping for it. But other than games, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, man.
Yeah.
Keep going after it.
Really align with you about the whole variety thing, because it took that self-awareness. I think you and I both had that, where it was like, we don't want to specify in just one particular game, like some people do with Apex, for example, or whatnot. And I actually called my Polyinnovator gaming channel the Genderless Gamer, because I wanted to have that variety. Nice. So I really align with you on that. I just wanted to mention that.
Well, I think this is so funny, but I think for me, the reason I can't play one game is because I'm not that good at one game. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you are playing one game, like if you're a Call of Duty streamer or you are like an Apex streamer, I'm like, I feel like you have to be really good. Like if you're playing competitive, and that's just my take. And that's why I can't do that. And so I think that's kind of why I went variety, is because my background with role play and immersion is like, I'm not Nick Merckx. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting down there getting victory royales every game. So I was like, let's figure this out. And I think just trying to take all these games and take them down a comedic avenue and have people, we always say in the community is like, I want you to come into the stream and be able to check out a real life for a while and just like sit there, have fun, have your wife next to you or your husband next to you. Like, what is he laughing at? Like, what's going on here? And so that's kind of the goal that I have. And I think we've been carrying it out pretty good. But yeah, I think to wrap it up, I'm not good enough to play one game.
Well, maybe it's because you were good at doing many things, though. So that's good.
I appreciate it.
Josh, where can people find you online, sir?
Yeah, everybody can find me on TikTok, Twitch, Instagram. If you guys just search up Jozzoh, Jozzzoh, there's a Z because I'm Canadian. For Americans, it's Jozzzoh. Yeah, I'm pretty much on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. I've got a Discord server. There's 140 of us in there. It's super fun. A lot of stuff that happens off stream. I'm also on X. But other than that, it's pretty much where I live.
Well, I got a ton of links down below for you guys all to check out. And yeah, so once again, this is Dustin Polyinnovator and Jozzoh Josh on the PolyTools Creator Spotlight. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah. It was good.